4 always seems to run through the college basketball heartland. And today here in Bloomington, the stakes could not be any higher as Indiana and Ohio State step onto the big stage, quite possibly playing for their NCAA tournament lives. As we check the updated Big Ten standings, not much airspace between these two schools. Indiana and Ohio State, both 9 and 10 in conference play. And with that, we say welcome courtside. This place rocking already at Assembly Hall. Spiro Dedes and Jim Spinarkle. Jim, it doesn't get any bigger than this. On the final weekend of the regular season, senior day, Mike Woodson's final game here as head coach. And everything at stake for both of these two teams.
Yeah, and the emotions that you just articulated, Spiro, are going to carry Mike Woodson and his team, I think, this afternoon. It's a very big game. Both of these teams over the last 10 have not been playing great basketball, around 500 over the last 10. So I think if you can get that little punch of enthusiasm, emotion, it could help Indiana out.
You consider what Mike Woodson inherited, a program that was in disarray. He has a chance, Jimmy, if they can get in, of getting him into the dance for what would be the third time in his 4 years.
Yeah, and these numbers, when you look at the resume, are okay, but they're a bubble resume right there with a record of 18 and 12, 56 net ranking. And you look at that quad one record of 4 and 12, not the greatest.
Meantime, Jake Diebler, first full season after taking over the reins of this Ohio State men's program last February. They've been in so many close games. It's been such a resilient team. They come in off that really incredible overtime win over Nebraska just a couple of days ago, and they feel like, Jimmy, they're right there.
Yeah, when you look at this resume, though, doesn't it look a little bit like Indiana's when you look at the numbers? The record versus quad one, a little better at 6 and 10. So I think a touch of an edge for Ohio State with some of those numbers. And one of the guys who leads them is Bruce Thornton, having a great season. Really their leader when it comes to scoring points. The last 3 games in particular, he's been the leader and really can light it up in a hurry.
And with that, how about our fast analysis presented by AT&T?
And when you focus on Ohio State, you have to focus on their backcourt of Thornton and Mobley. One of the things that Indiana will try to do, they'll try to cut this drive off for Thornton going to the basket. So he's a focal point at the defensive end for Indiana. Mobley on the other side as a young player comes into the Big Ten as a shooter, but he's also one of these guys who can really handle the ball and play make. But don't forget that he can really step out and make it happen. On the Indiana side, Luke Goody has really transformed this team into a space team. He will space the floor, shoot the ball from long range. 40% of his shots come from the three-point line, and he's pretty good at shooting it.
Well, iconic Assembly Hall has seen its fair share of big games over the years, and this one will be massive. Hoosiers and Buckeyes next.